Hey sexies, welcome back to my personal podcast. This is Interesting Nothings. Get comfortable and relax because we're going to be diving deep into my history and just my thoughts on my history, you guys. It's an interesting topic. I am your host, Jasmine Malone. I am a 22-year-old Black American, I don't know, African American, whatever. And we are going to be getting into the nitty gritty of my experience being ugly. Oh my gosh. Sometimes my mind is like, wow, you were really ugly. I'm like, I was just unhealthy. If anyone is unhealthy, you kind of do look ugly, quote unquote. Stick around if you want to hear my experience with being ugly and my experience with the male gaze and how it switched, because now I am healthier and so therefore I'm not really that ugly anymore. So I talk about both sides of the coin here, and it's going to be an interesting episode, I will say. Hopefully I don't get traumatized because I can't believe I was ugly, but it's okay. I'm accepting that, that phase of life. But before we get into that main topic, I do want to touch on my vlog channel. So recently I've made a schedule for my vlog channel. I'm going to be uploading 2 times a week on Wednesday and Saturdays. I might change that again because I heard that you want to upload more, especially if you are a smaller YouTube channel, which I only have like a small amount of subscribers, so I think I need to upload more. But I'm starting out with 2 days a week, so Wednesday and Saturdays. If I don't change the schedule, just look for those videos. It's really fun. I just vlog my life. I literally vlog every single day and I just make a video out of it, and it's really fun. So make sure to check out that YouTube channel. It's always in the description. bttrflyLuv, Butterfly Love. I love that channel, honestly, you guys. And I'm kind of rebranding that channel because I want to be like this virtual like homegirl for people who don't have any homegirls or whatever, like, because that's literally me. Like, I have no homegirls, like literally none. So I want to be that homegirl for that person who doesn't have a homegirl, and I'm really excited. I actually came up with that idea this past weekend because I was like, oh my god, that's literally what I should do. So yeah, basically it's a virtual homegirl channel, whatever, vlog, whatever I want, basically. So yeah, make sure to check it out. That was like a long ass plug, but make sure to check it out. And now let's just jump right into my vibe check. So I love doing my vibe check, you guys, because I don't know, it's just so fun to like fill it out. I don't know, it's like a diary. Literally both my channels are like a diary. My Instagram, my podcast, and my YouTube channel, they're all basically different versions. Well, it's not really versions, it's just different avenues of who I am, and it's like a diary. So I don't know, I just whatever. I just love doing the vibe check. In this vibe check, we are going to be covering music, my drink of the episode, my mood, and my outfit, and a poll question so you guys get to know me better. Starting off with music. So I have the song Under the Influence by Chris Brown. Honestly, okay, so this song, when I first heard the song, actually, every time I hear this song, I think of this like YouTube dancer. It was a group of girls in one studio dancing to the song in front of Chris Brown, you guys. Oh my god, like the video is so cool. Like I love seeing how people take the song and then like transform it into their body and make art out of it. Like I have such a big appreciation for dancers because they are literally making art with their body, and that is so cool to me. But yeah, so basically Chris Brown was there, and every time I listen to the song, I'm like, wow, I just think of like this one girl. If you've watched the video, you know what girl I'm talking about. I think it's the last one. She was the best one, and I don't know, she just danced like so sexy, so good. Like she made me want to dance. I don't know, she made me want to dance. I was like, wait, I need to dance like her. But yeah, and she did that in front of Chris Brown. Are you kidding me? That's nerve-wracking, and she did really good. So anyways, that's the song for my music section. My drink, I don't have a drink right now, but I actually do have coffee in my system, so I'm pretty energized. I'm ready to go, obviously with that caffeine running through my veins. Did you guys know that I believe caffeine is poisonous for your body, and that's why it makes you like that's why you get like an energy booster, because I guess, well, I don't know the science behind it. I don't know. It's just like it's poison for you, so that's why you get such a rush. I think that's what it is. I don't know. I'm not a scientist, whatever. Whenever I heard that, I was like, what? How can coffee, why am I putting poison in my body? Like, this is weird. But yeah, that's basically why you like get an energy rush. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a scientist, so I don't know the exact like scientific reasonings behind it. But that's why you get an energy rush. I don't know. Let's go into my mood. So today, what is my mood today? I always leave like my mood part empty because I like to be as raw as possible, because obviously I make an outline so I can fill in every section, so I have something to reference. But for my mood section, I never fill that in because I really want to be as genuine as possible. Let's see, my mood right now. I'm feeling something, but I don't know exactly how to describe it. Let's say, okay, I feel very comfortable right now, but I do feel slightly uneasy. Which is weird because it's like, you don't look like you're uneasy. Hopefully I don't look like it. But things that happened before I started recording made me feel uneasy. So I feel uneasy. That's basically what it is. Okay, now into my outfit. So my outfit is really simple today. I have my red maroon princess wig. I love this wig. I have my orange tank that I got from Ross like a couple years ago. It's really cute. And then I have my gray shorts that I got from my ex-friend. So yeah, that's all I have on today. And I have no makeup for the audio listeners because I know y'all can't see me, but I have no makeup on. I'm coming to y'all bare with just lip gloss, of course. And now let's get into my poll question. My poll question of the day is beach or woods? Honestly, I think I would, if I had to choose like which vacation I would want to go on, I think I would want to go to the beach. The beach, I just love the sun, you guys. Like, I love how the sun feels on my skin. It just feels like I'm healing somehow. I don't know. I just love the sun. And I feel like in the mountains, I don't know if it's like colder weather up there, but I mean, it's fun. I mean, the mountains and like the cabin life, whatever, is fun and cozy and everything, but I think I would rather choose the beach. I'd be like, ooh, let's go to the beach. Like, I don't know, the beach is just really fun. So yeah, I would go to the beach over the mountains. Okay, now let's get into my topic of the day, the male gaze and how I was ugly and now how I'm not ugly. I don't want to say like I'm pretty. I mean, I don't know. I think I always have this battle of like complimenting myself because I always felt like I was being cocky, and I don't want you guys to think I am that at all. So it's hard complimenting myself, but I do feel like I am prettier now. I think another reason why I don't do it is because since I was ugly, it's hard for me to say, oh, well, I'm pretty. Then it's like, it's just hard. It's just like, I don't want people to be like, yeah, but you were ugly. Like, so I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but it's just like, I'm prettier now, okay, and I'm not as unhealthy. And I feel like if you're healthy, I feel like you look the prettiest. So I feel like I am healthier now, and that's why I call myself prettier. Anyways, so I have a couple of points, and I'll talk about my ugly experience first and then the flip side later on, but we're going to start with the ugly experience and the male gaze. So for my first point, I'm just going to talk about my ugly experience and coming out of it. So I kind of already touched on this a little bit, throughout the episode, but basically there was a time in my life, a phase, if you call it, where I was just ugly. Like, I look back on these pictures and I'm like, how was I like this? But I was just ugly. Like, I was ugly almost in like every aspect. Like, I was ugly mentally, well, not fully mentally, but I'll explain. Mentally, physically, just ugly all around. And I feel like I was this way because I wasn't healthy. So coming out of it, I've really learned to nourish myself the way I've needed to be nourished, and that's how I've become healthier. I've become my own parent and my own advocate and my own best friend for myself, because before I think I was just like looking for that person, and I'm like, wait, I literally have that person all inside of me. I don't need somebody else to validate me or to make me feel a certain way. Why am I about to cry? Okay, I just got off my period, you guys, but I shouldn't be crying. Oh my god, the more I talk about it, the more I feel like I'm about to cry. Anyways, but I think I just always was like looking for that person. And so now I'm like, if the flipped coin is more so like, now I found all that love within myself, and I don't need to have any external validation. I just need to have my own validation, and that's really truly all that matters. Everyone else who has an opinion about whatever it is merely just an opinion, and it's like water with oil. Like, you try to mix it, but you can't, because it's science. And right now I am scientifically in love with myself. That sounded so weird, but yeah, I'm scientifically in love with myself, and you can't undo that, basically. So I'll talk about the different aspects of being ugly. I said I wasn't going to try to be traumatized, but I think I am a little bit, because it just amazes me. It really amazes me. It really, like, to anybody who's been ugly and has gone through that transformation, do you get surprised looking back at yourself and you're like, why the fuck? Like, you just have like a whole mind fuck. It's like, what the fuck was going on in my head? Why was I like this? Blah, 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 blah. Really, it was just there from my teenage years. My teenage years were just ugly, basically, which is so sad. I wish I wasn't ugly, because now that I'm healthy, I'm like, I wouldn't have been ugly. I know my style now. Like, I just know myself. That's another reason. I didn't know myself. During all that, I didn't know myself, which is kind of typical for a teenager, whatever, because you're trying to figure that out. But at the same time, I just feel like I wasn't up there with other people who at least had an idea. Like, I had no idea and didn't really want to figure that out, because I thought I was too much or too this or too that. Like, it's like I really shut myself down, because I was like, you're not good enough, or I actually hate you. I remember actually, I should make that an episode. Oh my gosh. Okay, do you guys know the app Vent? Okay, so this app is basically where you like vent your feelings. You choose a feeling. Let's say I put disappointed. So you choose disappointed, and then you write out why you're disappointed. It was like a diary, and basically I would just always write my feelings in this app, and I wouldn't have too many happy moments, honestly. I would always just go to this app whenever I was feeling sad or down or whatever. And then I also had like a physical diary as well. But for some reason, I really liked this Vent app. It was just really, I don't know, I just liked it. And I also liked seeing other people's vents as well. It's like a social media thing. So it's not just like, oh, you post it and then that's it. Like, it was other people, like you could see other people's stuff too. So anyways, maybe I should make that an episode, like going through my vents, because I think that dates all the way back to like 2015, which would honestly help explain this ugly experience, because I wrote it all down like in that thing. And I should go through my diaries. Okay. I'm getting ideas like on the spot. Oh my god, this piece of hair is literally, I think it's on my lip. 1 second. Let me take this off. Okay. Ugh, that was bothering me. So, reeling back. So I put mentally, because I didn't know like who I was. I didn't know just the whole nine, you guys. Like, I just didn't know. Like, I didn't know, like, if someone asked me, what are you passionate about? I feel like I had some ideas, I could probably muster up to say something, but it's like I wasn't really passionate about it. I was just trying to fill in the answer. So then it's not just like nothing, because it's like, okay, well, you're supposed to be passionate about something. You're not just not supposed to be passionate about something. It's just at that time, I feel like I wasn't really passionate about anything. But if people asked, I'd be like, oh, I don't want to be awkward and just say nothing. So I don't know, but mentally, again, I was just very, I don't know. I don't know what my mental was like. It was there, but then it was also just super sad and depressing, basically. And also I will quickly touch on like depression and anxiety as well, because I feel like that was really high during this stage of life. This ugly stage of life. I was really depressed. And really honestly, like I knew I was depressed, but I feel like I wasn't, like I didn't know. Like I feel like there's different stages of depression, and I feel like I wasn't like super 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 depressed, like the deepest depressed, but I feel like I was probably, if there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 levels, I was probably at like level 2.5 to 3. I would say I was like there, and it would like range like 2 to 4. It would go back and forth that way, but I think I did like feel depressed. And also, I mean, I've touched on disassociating, in this stage of life, in my second podcast episode. So if you guys want to check that out, make sure to check that out, because I talk all about like my past and everything, and I'm not going to go too deep into my past, even though I am, but I'm really more so talking about the ugly experience and how that really shaped who I am today. So if you want to check out that episode, you can. It's the second episode. But yeah, so mentally I was just basically fucked up. Physically, okay, so my diet, my diet was awful. Like my diet, I mean, was just awful. My body was the biggest I've ever been. And it's crazy because I look back on like, kid photos, and obviously your body's going to change as you grow, whatever. But it's so crazy how I was like a twig. I feel like I was like so just like skinny with no muscle, to being like overweight or almost overweight. It just looked like I had so much meat on my bones, like just so much excess fat, like just weight on my bones. And that didn't help with my appearance at all, you guys, at all. So my diet was also fucked up, so that also added to me being ugly. I also wrote how I carried myself, so that kind of goes into depression, anxiety kind of thing. Well, actually it does but doesn't, because I feel like I hit it very, very well. Like people would describe me as the most happiest person to probably ever be alive, which honestly, I give that credit to God, because I'm like, how was I like that in my experience? I don't even know. I don't even know. Like, I feel like people would describe me as like the most like happiest person. And not that I'm thinking about it, I did get like this caring award at my like charter school. They had like different awards for different things, and I remember I got the caring award. Out of like all of my class, I got like the award for being like the most caring person, which I mean I love, but at the same time I was just like, I was just showing, okay, here's what it is, I was showing care to everyone else but myself. That makes me so sad. That makes me so sad. Like, I don't want to cry on this podcast, because I'm like, literally, I'm the coolest person to ever like exist in my world. So I'm just like, how did I do that? Like, why? And it's like, I can't change that, like I can't go back and change that. I just have to accept that as part of my story. But anyways, so yes, going back, how I carried myself. So I wrote down, took everything out of me to take care of myself, was basically exhausted. So yeah, like I don't want to go into too many specifics, but basically whenever I had to do like the simplest things, like regarding hygiene and just, I don't know, just making myself look better, I just felt so exhausted. Like I was like, I don't need to do this, or I just feel like I don't know, like I don't know what it was. Like it's not like I was lazy, I was just like, there's no point, I guess, like why am I doing this? Or it's just like, it wasn't really a thought to even do it at the same time. And again, I don't want to go into specifics because y'all are gonna be like, she's fucking nasty. But I was like pretty gross, and it's crazy like to see that flip, because I'm so like clean now, but before I feel like I was just so disgusting. I'm like, how did I have friends? How did people hang around me? All these things. So basically, to try to clean myself, or to try to like just be better, like just taking care of myself, I really didn't do that until really like I was 18 and up, which crazy yet again. Let's see, what else did I wrote was anxious. So yes, I was a very anxious person. I feel like I still am kind of, but I'm working on it, but before I was just like so anxious, like socially awkward, like just all of it. I just feel like I literally hated small talk because I was like, I don't like, this is so pointless and meaningless, and you're just talking to me just to talk, but like you don't actually care. At least that's what I felt like. We're like, I don't know. I was just like, we're just talking about the weather. Like, let's talk about something else. But then y'all don't really know me. So what are we going to talk about? I don't know. So I was anxious, you guys. And then my next point, I said, had no idea who I was. Yeah, I had no idea who I was. I was basically trying to have my environment influence me to the fullest because I didn't push myself out at all, really. My next point, no confidence. I had no confidence. No confidence in myself. I always felt like super just small. Like, it makes me so mad. It makes me so mad. Let's see what else. Was influenced by white culture. Yep. So I wasn't even my own, like, I didn't appreciate my own race. Like, I used to really hate being black. I'm just going to be really honest with you. Like, not saying I hate black people, but I would just hate that I was black. I would hate that, like, I was different basically than everyone around me. I went to this charter school and it had a lot of different cultures there, but even then I still felt like the odd one out. I felt like the odd one out. Like, yeah, I was just influenced by white culture. And that also just played a part into me being ugly because I wasn't acting like myself. I was acting like how white culture was, I don't know, the white version of me, which I really find to be ugly because I'm like, that's not me. I'm black. I'm not white. I'm black. I was literally trying to be something I wasn't, which I feel like is kind of common for teenage years, whatever. And then I wrote shallow. So yeah, I had no like real beliefs. So when people would ask me like, hey Jasmine, what do you believe in this? Or how would you think this is or something? I'd be like, I don't know. I think it could be this way, this way. I mean, I would give my opinion, but also I just didn't really have any true beliefs. Like I was always the gray area, nothing black or white. I was just always like, okay, well, I could see that side and I could see this side, but I'm really just right here, right in the middle, which is kind of the same way right now. Actually, I don't really believe in like super black and white thinking because I feel like there's no real 100% truth in the world, whatever. I mean, there are 100% truths. I don't know. I don't want to get into that. But basically, I don't know. I didn't really have a lot of true beliefs. And I feel like that also added to the mix of being ugly. Let's see what else. Didn't know too much about what I liked. Yeah. So I knew like a little bit about myself because, like I said, like I feel like this really happened when I entered my teenage years. So like before my teenage years, I knew who I was, I knew what I liked, like basically healthy. But yeah, once I entered my teenage years, I didn't know what I liked or I mean, I knew what I liked. Like, I don't want to say I was just like this blank ass person, but I was also like this blank ass person at the same time. Like, it's hard to describe. I mean, like I said, I disassociated. So basically, with that, I feel like you just kind of look like a blank ass person. I don't know. But yeah, basically, I just didn't know much about what I liked compared to even now, like being a healthier version of myself. I know so much more of what I like and my style and everything. Before, I just feel like I barely, like, I had an inch of it. I didn't have a lot of knowledge about what I liked. My next point, did great in school, but didn't know much of nothing. You guys, whenever I think about this, I'm just like, do you guys ever wonder, like, do you guys ever feel this way where you feel like you know something, but then you don't actually know it? Like, you just know it because you were tested on it, but you don't actually understand or actually know it. Like, I feel like my adult years really popped that bubble for me, because now I'm like, oh my gosh, everything is starting to really make sense. I know why I was in school now, because I needed to learn about the world. But before, I was just like, this is just school. Like, this is just regular schmegular. Like, I just need to get a good grade, basically. So I did whatever it took to get a good grade, but it didn't like stick, if that makes sense. So I was a good student, quote unquote, but I feel like I really wasn't a good student to me. And now I feel like if I took like my SATs or different things, I feel like I would be really, really smart now, because I finally tapped into that part where everything is starting to stick now, if that makes sense. So I feel like I was quote unquote smart, but I really didn't really feel like I was smart, if that makes sense. I don't know. I don't know if that makes sense. Let's continue this talk. Oh, okay, so now we're going to get into the male gaze. And this topic is just kind of it's interesting, because I didn't really get a lot of attention from males, and I didn't really have a problem with this, but I did think that like it would just forever be that way. I was like, okay, I'll just never get like male attention. Like, it's okay. Like, I'm okay with that, and I guess that's just the way it is. Like, and I honestly blamed it on my race a little bit. I was like, oh, it must be because I'm black. I'm like, oh, I'm black, I'm fat, my face, I'm just not pretty, like all these negative things that I literally just believed in. And that's why I really like love manifestation, because it's like it's tricking your brain to believe in what you really want, and therefore you just do it because you really want it and you can see it in your brain. It's crazy how like if you have like a negative thought, like that's just gonna cycle in your mind forever. If you don't break that cycle, then you'll forever have that mind forever. Like, you'll just forever have that, like, that thought forever. And you just have to break that cycle. Like, you have to break the mental block in your head, so you can actually break out of that mode that you're in. So that's a little sneak peek of how I really kind of came out of it, because I basically broke through all those like cycles in my head and was like, wait, I literally can be pretty. I'm allowed to be pretty. I'm allowed to be sexy. I'm allowed to be these things that I felt like, one, I didn't really like have access to, and then two, really didn't think I was capable of being. Like, it's so crazy how your mind can really, really control you, and it can be really negative and bad for you if it's not like a healthy space. Anyways, so I really thought like I just really would never get a boyfriend. Like, I mean, I knew I would probably get it like somewhere like along the line in the future, but I was just like not too focused on it, which is also a good thing because it helped me really focus on school. But also it just, I don't know, I just like, whenever there was like school dances or like whatever, I mean, obviously I had crushes or whatever, but like I didn't really go with anybody. I always just like went with my friends, which normally my friends, like actually no, I feel like they had dates or whatever. I don't know. I just always felt like I was just never gonna have somebody, which is so sad. But it's okay. Now I mean, I've obviously grown out of that, but during this time I didn't really have a lot of attention. I said didn't care too much about having attention, but noticed it, and also I didn't beg for it. So I know some people, like, if they know they're not getting attention, sometimes they can like beg for it, or if they know they're like pretty, they can just beg for male attention, whatever. But I didn't also beg for it. Like, I was kind of okay with not having male attention, because I was also like kind of taught that it was bad to have male attention, which I don't think that's bad. You just have to know how to handle the male attention. Like, you got to know how to handle it. It's not like you should just be shut off from it. You need to know how to handle it. Like, if you're a girl, you should have male attention. Like, so at that time, like, I also didn't really feel like a girl, I guess. Like, I guess I just didn't feel like a girl, because I mean, I knew I was a girl, but it's just like part of being a girl is like just having attention from somebody. Duh. Like, you can't have no attention. But basically, I had no attention, which is crazy. And let me see what else. Oh my God. My next point, I said I was the definition of I like her for her personality. So if anybody did like me, they most likely just liked me for my personality, because my body wasn't banging. My uniform, whenever I was wearing my uniform, it was just not fitting right. Like, just ugly. just just ugly. Like, it looked like I didn't know. Like, I guess I had a style on, I don't know, it just didn't look cute. Like, my uniform didn't look cute, basically. It just looked like it was just worn. Like, I don't know what. I would have worn my uniform so cute, though. If I was the way I am now, I would have worn my uniform so cute. Like, just would have worn it so much better. But before, I was like, oh, well, I wear a uniform every day, blah, 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 blah. I mean, I don't know. It was just, ugh. I was that definition of just I like her for her personality. Like, if someone did like me, they probably just like my personality, because my physical was just completely off. My next point, thought my race hindered me from being beautiful to others. So I already touched on that. Yeah. I don't know. I had like this weird thought that like being black was bad. Why did I have that thought? I don't know, but I just thought like being black was bad. You're not supposed to be black. Like, you're not supposed to be black. You're supposed to be whatever else, but ghetto things, like whatever, that's bad. I don't know why I just thought that was bad, when it's really not. It's really cool, actually, and it's one of my favorite things that I appreciate about myself now. I'm like, I'm black. Like, I'm so cool. Like, I love being black. But before, I was just like, I think black is weird, and I'm looking down and it's 111, it's 111, and it's 2:22:22. I forgot to talk about that, but it's literally 2:22:22, and it's a magical day, and it's 111. I always like to like catch the whole minute of 111, because this is just magical. Oh my God. Like, what? 111, 111, 111, 2:22:22. When is it gonna change? Maybe it just started. Oh, it changed. Okay, so back to what I was saying. So yeah, I just thought like my race like hindered me from being beautiful. I just thought like people don't like me because I'm black, like especially males, like they don't like me because I'm black. They didn't like, and maybe I was just surrounded by people who like didn't really like black girls, so that's probably why I thought that. I don't know, but basically I just thought my race was not it, when it's in all actuality it's it. My next point was kind of awkward socially, especially with males. Yeah, so I already touched on like how I was socially awkward. I feel like with adults I was just socially awkward. Like, I just didn't know how to interact with adults. But even with males, I was just like socially awkward. Like, I don't know, I was just socially awkward. Like, I mean, I knew how to have like conversation, but also like I always felt that even though I'm like talking to males, I just knew like they're gonna find someone else to talk to, like I think that's what I felt. I was like, okay, you're talking to me now, but like this conversation doesn't matter. So I don't know how you describe that, but basically, yeah, that's how I felt. So I feel like I just came across as like socially awkward, and especially to males, and so that's why I didn't get any other attention, and that kind of fed into me being ugly. All right, going into my next point, I had crushes, but they always liked someone else. Yeah, so basically, like, I mean, it's not like I was like, like I had crushes. I was like, oh my God, he's so cute, whatever. But I just knew like they wouldn't like me back. Like, I just knew. I mean, I feel like I would try a little bit. I said I didn't beg for it though, because I didn't beg for it. But I feel like I would try. Like, I would try a little bit. But at the same time, I was just like, you're not gonna like me. I'm black. I'm not pretty. I'm just there. I'm just there. Like, that's what I felt like. I was like, I'm just there. I'm just here. And I just feel this, I don't know, I I'm just there. Like, that's all it is. I'm just there. Everything that I'm saying, I feel like males, they picked up on this energy as well, and they're like, yeah, she's just there. Because a lot of times, if you are believing in a certain thought about yourself, it's kind of what is being portrayed to others. I guess, what is that called? A self-fulfilling prophecy? Because I'm like, oh yeah, they're like someone else. And they did, because I didn't change my way of thinking. I just kind of thought that that was what it was going to be. And it was, because I just gave off that energy that it was going to be that way, if that makes sense. I don't know. So yeah, that's all I really have for like the ugly side. Let me see how long this episode is, because I feel like it's kind of long. I don't want to hold you guys for too long, because okay, we'll go into the flip side, because this is just talking about, like, you know, the transformation, I guess you could say. That's basically what my ugly experience was like. I was just like, I had no attention from males, didn't know who I was, just was ugly all around, and didn't feel like I could be anything else but that. So now we're gonna get into the flip side and how I came out of that, because that was just, and this is also a reason why I call my channel Butterfly Love, because I really do feel like I am a butterfly. Like, that was my caterpillar phase, whatever you want to call it. I just wasn't transformed, and it took me forever to do that, because I had like this way of thinking that was toxic and not healthy for me, and I finally changed that for myself, and now my mentality is completely different. So now we're going to get into the flip side, because this side is honestly my favorite side, because it's who I am now. My first point that I said you always have eyes. So yeah, being on the flip side, I realized like you always have like eyes on you. Like, wherever you go, male attention, they're just gonna look at you. They're gonna just like look at you. And then obviously, since I haven't really experienced that, you know, in my younger days, I was just like, what is this? Oh my God, this is so different. Like, people are actually looking at me. And also, I will quickly say this as well, actually, whenever I was ugly, I kind of liked not being looked at, because I feel like I was already being looked at with other areas of my life. So I guess in that area, I was like, okay, people aren't looking at me in this way, even though they were, but they weren't like, ooh, like she's so like they weren't looking at me in the way that they do now, which also I feel like kind of adds a little bit to my anxiety, because now like people feel like they can just walk up to me or they can talk to me or whatever. And sometimes that can be hard, because you have to have social skills in order to talk back or whatever. So I don't know, I think I did like that aspect. If I liked anything while being ugly, I liked the aspect that people didn't really look at me at the same time, because I feel like that would have add a different layer of anxiety to my toxic mind, and just would have really been another type of tornado. So I kind of like that I didn't have it, but it's a whole different feeling now whenever I just feel like people are watching me. Like, they're just looking at me, like, you know, they're just looking. So that's one difference I have noticed. Another difference, you have pretty privilege. So yeah, didn't really know like this was truly a thing until I was like 18. If you're pretty, if you're sexy, if you're like beautiful, people will treat you differently. You have a certain privilege that other people don't get to have. Like, they just treat you differently because you have like this different way about you, this different beauty about you. So I don't know, I finally experienced that. I was like, wow, this is what it's like to just like be a female. Like, what? Like, you get pretty fucking privileged? Like, yes. Like, yes, like this is the best thing ever. What? Oh my God. So pretty privileged, that is a thing. My next one, I'm aware of how I look. Yes. So like I said, wasn't really didn't really pay attention to like how I looked and everything before, but now I am aware of how I look, and I do take care of myself so much better, and I am a lot healthier mentally. So I feel like that's all just translating into my glow. And yeah, I feel like that's also just what's helped me get out of that ugly phase, was just to take care of myself. Just take care of yourself. Even if it's hard at first, do the smallest thing. I swear it will like snowball into bigger if you just keep working at it and you show up for yourself. I'm talking to you. Show up for yourself. You're gonna be beautiful. You're just gonna look clean and happy and just beautiful. Beautiful. Let's see. My next point, I said I get treated better because of everything glowed up. So yeah, kind of along the lines of the pretty privilege, but yeah, I just get treated a lot better because I don't know why it's so hard for me to say I'm just pretty, but like I really don't want it to look like I'm being cocky. Like I just want to say, I'll just say healthy, but y'all know I really mean pretty, hopefully. But like since I'm healthier, people have like treated me just a lot better. Like they don't treat me small anymore. Like they treat me like I am a person. Like I'm not going to be like just there. Like I said before, I am an actual person who has opinions and beliefs, and you should respect me and all these things. Like you can't just step on me and I'd be okay with it. Like hell no. So you get treated better for sure. You get treated better. So my next point, realize things I hated about me were the most beautiful and unique things. So yeah, I feel like I always say this, like most of the time, like things that you hated as a child, when you turn into an adult, you start to love them. You're like, wait, I am this naturally. Like I already have this. This is a blessing. Like I shouldn't hate this. Like this is how I felt about my race. This is how I felt about my skin tone. This is how I felt about lots of things. Like some of the things that you really hate about yourself, or you just don't like, or you just think, ugh, why do I have this? Think of it as you are the most unique person in the world. Like you are meant to have that. Like that's you. Like no one else is you. So love it. Like that, no one else is you. No one else has that. Love it to the fullest, because you are the most unique thing ever. So that's what also helped me get into like a better space about how I viewed myself, because I just looked at myself differently. I'm like, okay, all these things that I quote unquote hate, I actually love. Like those are the best things about me and the most unique things about me that no one else has. And just own that shit. Like own that shit. So yeah, I experienced that on the flip side. Let's see, my next point. I'm okay with the male gaze and can actually talk to males. Yes, so now that I am on the flip side, I feel like I know how to talk to males. I know how to flirt. I know how to be sexy and be like, okay with being sexy. I know how to be pretty. I know how to like just do these little things that I didn't know before, and I'm okay with it. And I'm okay with a male gaze now. I'm not like just socially awkward, even though I can be socially awkward. It's not like it's not there. I can be socially awkward, but I'm way less socially awkward than before. Like I can actually have a conversation with somebody. I can pick up on a vibe and basically just float on that vibe, and that takes a lot of social skills to do that. So for my next point, I said learned about the dangers of being sexy. So I wrote down like the potential of being raped, harassed, talked to, and how like being sexy sometimes sets an expectation just about who you are. And so I don't know, I just learned I learned about that. Like there's dangers to being sexy. Like you not being sexy or being sexy, there's pros and cons to both, I feel like. And I feel like the cons are, like what I just said, potential of being raped, harassed, talked to. This expectation or this like stigma is placed upon you. And I feel like, and I want to talk about this really quick, I feel like females should be sexy because they want to be sexy. A lot of males, males honestly irk my nerve. Like it's just like like their minds are just so aggravating. Sometimes I just think like a female is just dressing for them. I'm like, what if I wanted to do this just for myself? Like, I feel sexy just as myself. Like, I just want to look sexy for me. Can that be an option? Can that be an option, that I want to do this for me and not just for y'all? I don't care if you have a boner or whatever you feel. You have like your imagination. I don't give a fuck. Control yourself. Like, it's just so crazy how like males have like this whatever floated big ass head of theirs that they think, oh well, no, females are just for me. No, I don't know what makes y'all think that. It just irks me, because I'm just like, why do you think that females are just made for y'all, or that you can just do whatever to a female? Like, that is just some weird ass shit. Like, just get the fuck away from me if you really think that you are like this higher being over a female. Like, honestly, fuck you. Up your ass and into your fucking brain, because ew, that is so disgusting. Females can be sexy by themselves, for themselves, and that is okay. It's not always for y'all fucking niggas and males. It's not for y'all, or even females. I mean, sometimes it can be for like attention from others, but it doesn't mean you have to act on it. It doesn't mean you have to harass them or do whatever. Like, no, that's just my personal feelings on it. But going into my next point, I said learned about even the female gaze and being pretty that way. So yeah, once I became healthier, I realized, I'm like, oh, there's pretty females. Like, I've always noticed pretty females, whatever. Like, I feel like I had a little bit of, I don't know, I feel like I always like looked at females in that way slightly, but now that I've become healthier, I'm like, oh wow, yeah, you are really pretty. Like, I could like kiss you. Once you go into like being pretty, you kind of just open your mind, at least my mind, to other people's beauty, and how like beauty is across the board. I mean, obviously, that's kind of like a general statement. Like, obviously beauty is across the board, but it's not like you can only, and maybe this is just me being like low-key bi, but for me, I was just like, I don't have to just find a male that's attractive. There's attractive females. Like, there's some on both sides, and it's both beautiful to me. So I feel like being on the flip side, that love for females grew, because I'm just like, wow, like, you're just so pretty. Like, oh my god, you're just so pretty. Like, females can be attractive too, is all I'm saying. I feel like they become more attractive to you, or you can just notice like that they're really, really pretty, and that's just all it is. Like, they're just really pretty, you know? Like, it's not like you have to have, like, you don't have to like associate it with like attraction. But for me, I was like, oh wow, you're pretty and you're like attractive. Like, what? So yeah, that's what I've learned whenever I got on the flip side. My next point just goes to show how you think about yourself is how others will most likely look at you as that or treat you that way. So kind of going into like what I said before, if you see yourself as small, if you see yourself as somebody who can't be whatever it is that you really deep down kind of like want to be, or you just think negative about yourself, or like I said, have a negative cycle about yourself, it will become true in your mind, because you are like strengthening that bond in your mind. Like, you're strengthening that mentality every time you just believe in it. So if you don't want to believe in that anymore, or you want to go out of that, even if you think it's impossible, you have to break that cycle. You can't just believe and believe and believe and believe into that cycle, because it's not benefiting you. Like, it's not helping you at all. Like, it's making you stay further in that negative way of thinking. Like, you can't, I feel like that's really the key here. You can't feed into the lies. That's really what it is. Everyone is beautiful. Everyone. You just have to believe that you are. And I feel like that's kind of like manifestation. Like, you have to believe that you are to be it. If you don't believe that you are, then you're going to manifest that thought of not being it. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what I've done just to really help myself, because it's just made me think of like creating that like opportunity to be healthy, to be pretty, to be beautiful, to be sexy, to be all these things that I really thought I couldn't be, because simply because I just didn't think it was possible. And so because I didn't think it was possible, I just acted like it wasn't possible. So then it just became not possible. You know what I'm saying? But if you really fight against that thought, if you really don't want to believe in it anymore, fight against it and you'll get stronger and you'll end up overpowering that thought. And then that's when like the real glow happens. Like you start seeing the God in you. You start seeing how beautiful you are, how unique you are, how your style is just the most beautiful. You know, you're the main character. You don't have to subscribe to what other people say about you. You don't have to accept disrespect. You don't have to be a doormat. You don't have to be this person that people might have treated you as. You are more than that. I want to talk to this person right here who might think that they are just really less than and they don't deserve whatever it is. You can deserve it. Like if you want whatever it is, get up every day and fight for it. Get up every day and fight for it. You have the strength. It's there inside of you. You have to practice that muscle. If you don't practice, you'll never get anywhere. You'll never get anywhere. You need to practice that muscle. And one day you'll be like, wow, I started here and now I'm here. And it's never going to get, the further you are on your journey, sometimes it gets easier, sometimes it gets harder. Whatever it is, keep fighting. Be your biggest advocate for yourself. Be your own best friend. Have a relationship with God because God created you. And if you have all those things, you're unstoppable, honey. You're unstoppable. You're unstoppable. Anyways, just want to talk to that person because just in case they're out there, I just really want you to believe that you can have better and to work at it and to never give up because it's inside of you. You just haven't tapped into it yet. It's there. It's there. And don't be like, oh, it's not. You're going to make it worse for yourself if you think it's not there. You need to believe. The first step is believing that it's there and then work at it. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking about it because I have other points and I know this episode is really getting long. So let's go through these last points and then we'll end the episode. My next point, I said I love admiring myself now. I love admiring myself now, you guys. Like I just love my energy. I love my personality. I love my aura. I love my glow. Like I used to be so ashamed and like I used to like really hate myself, and so to be on the opposite side and just to be like, wow, like you are so pretty, or wow, you just glow differently, or wow, like you are just so beautiful. Like speak positive things about yourself and you'll start to see it. So yeah, I just really admire myself and I'm like, wow, you're just amazing. Like you are so amazing. Oh my god, when I tell you I am my best friend. My next point, I understand the importance of self-care and hygiene upkeep. Yep, crucial. If you don't do that, you're not really helping yourself and you're not showing up for yourself. You need to show up for yourself and that'll impact everything else in your world. Show up for yourself. Always. Next point, I'm uniquely myself and have the coolest style because it's my own. I love that I wrote this because yes, I really do love my style. I love my aesthetic. I love my look. I just love everything about it. So being on the flip side, I've just really learned to appreciate it. I've learned to love it. I've learned to grow in it. I've learned to evolve. I've learned to appreciate every stage because you're going to shed this phase of life. Whatever phase of life you're in at this very moment, you're going to shed that in the future. That's why I'm super appreciative of everything in my life at this stage of life, because in the future I'm going to look back and be like appreciative that I was appreciative, and also be able to look back and just know that I was being the most authentic and true version of myself. Okay, so I had to clear up some space in my phone because I was running out of space. But let's continue. We're almost done with the episode, so stick around for these last couple of points. I think I was talking about like how cool my style is. I just have such a big appreciation for my style, and like I said, every stage you're going to be growing and you're going to shed a certain version of yourself in every stage. So just appreciate every stage, and you'll appreciate the future versions of yourself while also appreciating the past versions of yourself, because you can look back and just know where you were in that time and know that you were just, I don't know, you can just appreciate it. Like once you appreciate it and just know, like you just appreciate every aspect of yourself, you want to grow deeper, honestly, into who you are. At least for me, like I can't wait for like this next level of life where I'm gonna just be deeper into myself and my style and my appreciation and love for myself. Like it's just only gonna get deeper. Once you start, it only gets bigger and deeper. It only gets bigger and deeper. So yeah, I don't know, I just wanted to say that because I don't know, I feel like everyone has a unique style and a unique vibe, and if you start to appreciate it now, it'll only grow and you'll have different stages of this style, but it'll only get better the more you love your style. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that because I just love that I have a cool style, and I can't wait for like in the future when I have an even cooler style. Like I can't wait to see it, but I'm also just appreciating the moment that I have right now. Okay, and then I think this is my last point. Kind of reminds me of the love doesn't cost a thing, being uncool to be cool. Yes. Oh my god, yes. So if you guys know that movie Love Don't Cost a Thing, basically I'll just give you the gist, but basically this popular girl basically takes this uncool quote unquote person and makes him cool. And I feel like that's exactly who I was. Like I mean, from the outside looking in, people might say, oh, you were actually kind of cool, but to me, I didn't think, like deep down inside, I wasn't cool because I wasn't myself. So now I feel like I finally graduated into being my own type of cool, my own type of fresh, my own type of style, my own type of whatever. It's just me, myself, and I'm now my own type of cool. So now I can freely be myself without feeling like I'm not. I feel like if you feel like you're uncool, quote unquote, it's probably because you feel like you're probably scared to be yourself, and you just don't act on being yourself. You just act like, I'm just this like small thing, whatever. But like if you just start being yourself, it is kind of hard at first, but if you just start being yourself and you start just loving who you are, and like I keep saying throughout this episode, you'll turn out to be a cool person. So just work on being yourself. It's scary, I will say, because even for me, you guys, I'm still a private person, but I was an even more private person before, and so now I'm letting people in and showing and being myself, showing up for myself, being myself, and not being scared of what others will think or whatever the case is. So like I said, once you start like the self-love journey, you'll be so strong. So strong. So yeah, that's another thing that I learned on the flip side with being healthier. So I think we're just gonna end this episode here. I feel like this episode was kind of long, but it's okay because I really feel like this episode is important for people who feel like they're ugly and feel like they can't make it into that next phase or whatever. You most certainly can, and I just want to be that person to tell you that you can. You have to believe in yourself, be your biggest supporter for yourself. Don't ever let yourself down, obviously in a healthy way, and you'll make it. You'll make it to where you want to be if you actually believe in it and do the work to get there. So thank you guys for watching and listening to this podcast. I put a lot of effort into each and every episode, so please make sure to subscribe, because I would really love you. And make sure to like this video if you are on YouTube, and make sure to give this 5 stars if you're on any other podcast platform. I would love you. I mean, you're basically my best friend if you made it this far. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully this inspired you. I'm talking to you, who feels small and whatever, because it would have been nice to have this for myself so then I could act on this earlier, but it's okay. Everything is in divine timing, and that's just how things played out for me. And I'm glad I'm finally here. I'm not like too late, because some people, they can be like older, like 40 years old, whatever, and finally have like this realization at 40 years old. So I'm glad I'm still young. I'm just happy that I can make the adjustments that I need to make right here and right now, so I can have a great foundation for my future. I'm really excited. So yes, like I said, thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys in my next episode. Bye sexies, bye lovelies, bye homegirls, mwah, and homeboys if you're watching. You guys, this episode was hard to film because I feel like I kept going in circles. Hopefully it doesn't seem like that. I'll edit it and make sure it's not going to go in circles, but I feel like I was going in circles, and for some reason I just can't talk. You guys, I'm working on it, but I thank you nonetheless for sticking through all the way. Bye!